looks like this. Lloyd, Goddard, that's an all BRM front row. First of the dream cars is Thomas Randall, needs to get a good jump. Will Brown, winner of the first ever race, the first of the AGI Sport drivers. Lewis leads, Tom Gretsch on row 3. Vernon and Hayek off row 4. Remember that battle between Will Brown and Harry Hayek for the Rookie of the Year is alive. Caitlin Wood and Frankie Maiola had a really good battle in qualifying, and they'll start alongside each other on the 5th row. Good to have Caitlin making her second appearance in Cam's Jayco Formula 4. There she is in car 20. We do have an onboard looking over her shoulder, and she is in her second appearance, right on cue. Had a recent test day at Winton, so getting a few more miles in this car, and it's great to have the Jayco dealer team behind her. Miguel Chassis from France. The red lights are on. Oh no, Goddard cramps a little bit, and Lewis Leeds stalls it, but everyone gets around him, just like he did at Sandown. He's got that thing fired up. Thankfully, they push start on the steering wheel, and away we go towards turn 1. It's Lloyd who's got the jump over his teammate. Gretsch will hang tough on the outside of Will Brown. Same goes Harry Hayek, trying to go the long way around Jimmy Vernon's car. Under brakes, Gretsch will win that battle between his AGI teammate, the Cars Galore entry. And there was definitely some movement in Zane Goddard's wheels.
And what will be the key, Chad, is he brought the car to a stop, but was he over the line? You need to be stationary on or behind your grid line. And did he go over that line will be whether we see Zane Goddard with a time penalty for a jump start. Randall goes right round the outside, and I'd say that's going to come off for him. That'll give him the inside for Siberia, and he does. So Randall's chasing down Lloyd already.
Randall knows that he cannot afford to let Lloyd skip away, and he's already right behind his teammate with a fantastic exit out of Siberia. So just watch the car, far lane. It was creeping. Did he stop in front of the box? Stop, stop, stop. Oh, no, he's a goner.
Yeah, I think he could well be. And look, so this is a better angle. Movement, movement, movement again. Stop. Nah, over the line, unfortunately. So that'll probably only be a 5-second penalty. Oh. And no, Lewis just dumped the clutch a little bit too much. So rather than slip it, he's dumped the initial, and confirmation just through from race control now. 5-second time penalty will be added to Zane Goddard's race finishing time. So that's a shame.
There's nothing like the pressure of being on the front row of the grid for a race, and unfortunately it may have just snuck to him there trying to find the bite point on the clutch. Side by side down the front straight between Gretsch and Brown. And look at the run that Goddard has on Randall. That's an unbelievable move under, well, I would say under brakes, but you just got to feather the throttle a little bit for turn 1 of one of these cars. Great move, helping out his teammate.
Got a really amazing toe, actually. I'm not sure. I just wonder whether Randall may have missed a gear there, because we don't generally see the cars pull past that easily. They're very even. Walkinshaw Automotive look at all the data to make sure there's no discrepancies in power, controlled engine, gearbox, and he just towed past quite easily there. So
maybe
keep an eye on that.
Maybe the wind is that strong out there that it's added to the toe. Apart from Lloyd, everyone's really on top of each other here, which is going to provide for some pretty entertaining racing. Good junior formula stuff. It's what we want to see. Racecraft coming to the fore, slipstreaming, passing. Leeds has clawed back up onto the back of the pack on that first lap faux pas and managed to get around Caitlin Wood.
Great battle here too. Car 99, Cars Galore Toowoomba of Will Brown and Tom Gretsch in the IQ option entry. Oh, a bit of a lock-up. I think that was Harry Hayek, and he had a similar issue in qualifying, just locking the left front or the loaded tyre down the hill. But look at Randall, he's got a good run, so he should be able to tow up right behind Goddard down the front straight and reverse from the last lap.
It's one of the best slipstreaming circuits anywhere in the world. Comes Randall lurching onto the back gearbox of Goddard, swings to the inside, pulls the exact same manoeuvre that he fell for a lap ago. Goddard wants to argue the point around the high side. Not going to happen. They switch spots again. And Gretsch and Brown still fighting for 4th position. Vernon's going to go along with him, so it's going to be a three-way AGI Sport battle between the Sydney-based team on. Goddard makes an error at the exit of the loop, and that'll cost him any chance of getting in the toe of Thomas Randall and may even leave him exposed to the chasing pack.
Oh, Will Brown darting left, right, just trying to slide in under the gearbox of Tom Gretsch. So it's a great battle here, and Jimmy Vernon now is towed right up behind. So we've got 3 AGI Sport teammates here, different liveries, but all out of the one stable. running nose to tail. You know what's going to happen here? Goddard's going to get his 5-second time penalty. It's probably going to put him back to 5th, and then he'll start pole for the next one.
Perfect.
Yeah, exactly. A little bit more front row pressure maybe in race 2.
Maybe that was the plan all along.
See what happens. Still a long way to go. 11 laps after this one.
See now. Oh, Vernon. That was a huge moment. And Brown locks the right front. Vernon actually left rubber on the circuit from those rear tyres then coming through Lukey Heights. That was as close as you can get to spinning at a very fast part of the racetrack. I thought he was gone. Nice save.
Great save. You're right. It did lay rubber, and it's a very tricky part of the track there in an open wheeler, because as you come up to the top of the crest, you get exposed to any crosswind. So that affects the rear wing. Gets a little bit underneath the car. Reduces the downforce. And look at Gretsch now, trying to go around the outside of Goddard. This is big.
Oh, and Vernon on the outside of Brown got wiggly as well. This is some of the best racing we've seen all year. These guys are really having at it. First race of the weekend. It's a slipstreamer's paradise. And they're having at it down that big, long, fast front straight at over 200 k's an hour. They're actually hitting 220 on approach towards turn 1. So these are some of the fastest speeds we've seen from Formula 4 all year. Cracking stuff.
Let's have a look at on board with Lewis Leeds.
Trying to make up for that slow start. That was him a few laps ago. Mayolo locked left front.
I reckon Frank may have... Oh, nice power slide out of a 1.6-litre Ford EcoBoost.
And we're about to see Frankie pop into view here. There he is on the outside.
And he goes, if you don't mind, I'm going to go around the outside. Oh, side by side.
And flat the whole way through. Mayolo definitely had to lift. That is great racing.
Frankie Mayolo straight out of supercars this year, so again, first season of open wheeler racing. That was a brave move. Got the toe and thought, well, I'll just go around the outside. So good racing by both drivers to give each other room through that high speed turn 1.
Look at Lloyd.
Yeah, he's just bolted, hasn't he? Really got away from Thomas Randall that last lap.
Had a quick gander in the mirror. Saw that he's got a pretty comfortable buffer. Just needs to manage that gap. It's 1.8 seconds, and he just set the fastest lap on the race just now. So he is going fast. Leaving his teammate back in third. Scrap away with Thomas Gretsch. 5-second penalty looming above car 93 as Randall has a big moment exiting Southern Loop. He's pushing, trying to close that gap. It's going to cost him a little bit of time. He really needs to put in a good half lap here to get away from Goddard, because if he is anywhere within Goddard's reach down that front straight, they'll suck him in like a vacuum.
So Tom Gretsch has been quite speedy this weekend, has done 2 days of testing this year down at the Phillip Island circuit, so only 6 test days allowed for these drivers throughout the racing season, 4 before round 1, which was Townsville. So the idea being trying to keep the cost down. It's a tricky formula to get right, because you want drivers get faster in a development category like this by doing more testing miles, but every time you run the cars and travel to racetracks, it costs money. So it's that fine balance between giving them testing versus making it an affordable category long term. So now, next year we're talking about potentially an extra 1 or 2 rookie days for those competing in the rookie championship.
Very IndyCar. Gretsch pulls out of the toe early. He kind of mistimed that a bit. It was a little bit closer than he would have hoped coming onto the front straight. Look at Randall. What was he doing?
This will be interesting. What's he going to stay on it or not? Oh, he just lifts. Wasn't quite far enough, was he? You're right. I think he pulled out a little bit too early, and if anything, just lost a little bit of that momentum from the toe. So next year, this championship runs 7 rounds again. So just announced yesterday, kicking off at Symmons Plains with the V8 supercars.
And that'll be a cool track to see Formula 4, because it's another slipstreaming track, as Gretsch now lurches to the inside and takes third spot away late under brakes. Oh, Goddard gets a perfect exit, can't sneak up the inside, and Gretsch now has the move done. Randall is really dicing with danger, falling back towards these two. I feel like the lack of testing miles here for Randall's costing him. Lloyd is just driving away at the front, 2.7 seconds clear, doing exactly what Randall did to him at the opening race at Sever's Paradise. The car is just slipping around in the rear for Randall. Really looks uncomfortable, unsettled. He will take second here, I think, because that car of Gretsch's looks a lot better off, to be honest, in terms of speed and balance. Gretsch started back in 6th, he's up to 3rd, and seriously has a shot here at catching second in the points and second in the race.
Absolutely nothing to lose either for Tom Gretsch. He hasn't had the best of years. We know he had a big crash at the Gold Coast. He's had some bad luck as well throughout this championship, so he's not in contention for a top 3 at the moment, but he might as well go out with some solid results. He said he wants to win a race before this championship finishes. That's been his goal, and look how much time he's gained that time around, just in this last half a lap.
Now, if Randall has to go defensive, this will help Goddard to close the gap again, so this could be a 3-way battle. Oh man, his car is really bad at the exit of Southern Loop. Pushes all the way to the exit. The IQ option driver has a shot. Randall knows that he needs to be defensive. He parks it at the right-hand side. Tries to come over and maximise the entry. And Gretsch has closed mid-corner 2, as we expected. This will bring Goddard into it. Randall is struggling, fighting for his championship. He needs to hang on to this second spot. He can't afford to slip up any more points.
So Goddard's been the winner here. Zane Goddard's just been able to latch back on to Gretsch, and he's definitely driving quite defensive. Thomas Randall, a wide entry into Lukey Heights to try and have more speed up over the crest and run down the middle of the track.
This is going to really hurt Randall's rear tyres as well. This is all going to come to a head here at turn 1. It's flat from here to Southern Loop. Who's the bravest teenager amongst them all? Apart from Gretsch, he's actually 23. Let's see what he can do. He's got a perfect toe. Goddard might be in for the old double toe here down the front straight.
Oh, and again, he's probably just had to pull out a bit early, Chad, and I think that'll hurt him as we head down towards the end of the front straight. If anything, Randall will start to pull back.
Here comes Goddard.
He's got nowhere to go, and around the outside, Gretsch makes it stick.
That is a great move. Made his intentions known as soon as he got onto the front straight. Kept it pinned around the outside. Nothing that Randall could do. He defended his heart out. Gretsch just checks his mirrors. He knows he's got that job done. Randall losing points here.
And Will Brown's closed up too on the back of Zane Goddard, so this has worked well for Will Brown, trying to take out the Burson's Rookie Award this year. Here's a replay. So, if anything, Zane Goddard got the best toe of the lot, but he probably had to start rolling out of the throttle there. He just had nowhere to go. And nice move by Tom Gretsch.
Goddard at the very last second thought, oh, I'll follow Gretsch through, but it was too late. By that time, the window of opportunity had closed.